So, welcome to my Sir Chris Knowledge Channel. So, ang topic natin is about physics, speed, velocity, and acceleration. So, to subscribe, just press the picture icon at the lower right corner of your screen. So to start, let us try to review the definition of speed, velocity, and acceleration. Okay, by definition, speed tells us how fast an object is moving, while velocity tells us how fast an object is moving and in what? In what direction? While acceleration may be defined as the change in velocity per unit of time. Okay, so let us try to differentiate using the formula. Okay, so ito yung formula ng speed, velocity, and acceleration. Kung makikita natin, mayroong similarity yung formula ng speed at saka ng velocity. Ang speed may be given a formula of S over T, or distance traveled over time, while velocity is displacement over time. Now, acceleration has a formula of change in velocity over time, or yung change, by the way, yung triangle na yan, ang symbol ng change. Now, change in velocity may be equals to the final velocity minus the initial velocity over time. Now, let's go back to the formula of speed and velocity. Okay. Kung mapapansin natin, meron ditong short bar sa ibabaw ng V at saka doon sa ibabaw ng S pagdating doon sa formula ng velocity. So, ang ibig sabihin nun is nag-specify siya that V for velocity and S for velocity in the formula of velocity, ang ibig sabihin nun ay vector quantity. Now, kung marirecall ninyo, or yung mga iba na hindi nakita yung ating discussion between the difference of scalar and vector quantity, pwede nyo balikan na handito sa aking Sir Chris Knowledge Channel. Just browse at makikita nyo na handun yung ating discussion about the difference between scalar and vector quantities. But para at least ma-recall natin, let me just recall some of the examples of scalar quantities and vector quantities. So, pag sinabi natin scalar quantities, ito yung mga quantities na ini-specify just by the magnitude and a unit, period. Samantalang yung mga vector quantities, ito yung mga quantities na ini-specify, hindi sapat yung magnitude lamang at saka yung unit. Kailangan na merong direction. Halimbawa, Example of scalar quantities. Yung time, yung mass, speed, distance traveled. Okay? So, halimbawa, pag merong nagtanong, ano ang yung mass? Kaya sabihin natin, for example, 60 kilograms. So, that's it. Kompleto na yon, period. Tinanong sa atin, what is your speed? My speed is 100 kilometers per hour, period. Kompleto na yon. That's completely specified because yung mga ini-specify natin na quantities are scalar quantities. Pero pagka ang itinatanong sa atin o ang ini-specify natin ay mga physical quantities that are classified as vectors, then kailangan lagyan natin ng direction. So ito yung distinction. Kasi sa marami sa atin, pag sinabing speed and velocity, lalo na kung medyo nakalimutan niya yung kanyang lesson ng physics or science, ang iniisip natin parehas yung speed and velocity. But that is not correct. Technically speaking, and from the point of view of science and physics, pag sinabi nating speed, yun lamang yung nagsasabi kung gaano kabilis ang takbo ng isang object. Halimbawa, ang sinabi natin, ang speed is 100 kilometers per hour. That's complete already, period. Pero pag sinabi natin na velocity, at sinabi mong your velocity is 100 kilometers per hour, kailangan lagyan natin ng direction. Because velocity is a vector quantity. So, if your velocity is 100 kilometers per hour, north. Or 100 kilometers per hour, south. Or 120 kilometers per hour, 30 degrees north of east. So, yun, kompleto yun. Pero pag sinabi mo na may velocity is 120 kilometers per hour, hindi mo nilagyan ng direction, then that is wrong. Technically, that is wrong because what you have specified is speed, not velocity. Okay? Kaya more or less, pagka tayo ay nagsabi ng velocity, yung pinagsabihan natin, nagkakaroon siya ng idea kung saan ka papunta. Kasi yun ang manner ng pag-specify ng velocity. Pero pagka pinag-uusapan lang natin ay bilis, then that is basically speed. Kaya yung nakalagay sa dashboard ng mga sasakyan natin is nakasanayan nating tawagin ng speedometer. Kasi ang pinapakita lang sa atin noon ay speed. Okay? Okay, so let us continue with the formula. So, pagka ang pinag-uusapan natin ay speed, it is as simple as S over time. No? S stands for the distance traveled over time. Halimbawa, nag-travel ka ng 100 kilometers, tapos yung distance sa 100 kilometers ay na-travel mo in 1 hour. So, your speed is 100 kilometers over 1 hour, or simply, your speed is 100 kilometers per hour. Okay? Now, pagdating sa velocity, ang symbol nito ay mapapansin natin, meron tayong maliit na bar doon sa ibabaw ng V at meron din tayong maliit na bar doon sa ibabaw ng S. Kasi, para hindi tayo malito dahil parehas yan na letter V. So, itong B na walang bar sa ibabaw, so ibig sabihin, speed, hindi siya vector quantity. Pag merong bar doon sa ibabaw, ang ibig sabihin, ito ay velocity at siya ay vector quantity. Now, the difference between S na merong bar sa ibabaw at saka yung S doon sa speed is also the same distinction. Yung S dito ay vector quantity. Kasi dito, sa S, yung formula ng speed, ang S stands for distance traveled. But, yung S doon sa velocity, ang ibig sabihin niya is displacement. Okay? So, later on, mas maintindihan natin yung pagkakaiba ng speed, velocity, distance traveled, at saka yung displacement. As well as the acceleration. Anyway, ang acceleration is napakadali namang maunawaan, no? The formula, the symbol is small letter A, at ang kanyang formula is the change in velocity over time. Kasi ang ibig sabihin ng acceleration is, ito yung pagbabago ng bilis habang tumatagal. Okay? So halimbawa, ikaw ay nag-start ng 20 kilometers per hour, then after few seconds or few minutes, naging 30 kilometers per hour, naging 40 kilometers per hour, naging 50 kilometers per hour, 60 kilometers per hour, 60 kilometers per hour, and so on. Then ang ibig sabihin is you are accelerating. Kaya kung ano yung final velocity mo, isubtract mo yung initial velocity, i-divide mo doon sa time elapsed from your initial to final, and then that is your acceleration. Ang ibig sabihin sa Tagalog ng acceleration ay yung pagbilis. Diba? Kaya yung ating mga sasakyan, yung meron tayong tinatawag na accelerator pedal, kasi pagka pinress natin yun or tinapakan natin yun, pabilis ang takbo ng ating sasakyan. Okay? Now, pagka naman yung pagkatapak mo ng madiin, nirelease mo siya unti-unti, ang mangyayari naman sa speed, sa velocity mo, is ikaw ay babagal, pabagal ng pabagal. Ang tawag naman doon ay deceleration. Okay? So, let us continue with our discussion. So, para mas malaki-laki yung ating space for problem solving, mag-erase tayo ng whiteboard at magbigay tayo ng isang example. Okay, so para mas maging maliwanag sa atin, this type of problem is actually the best example para mas maging maliwanag sa atin yung distinction between distance traveled and displacement and between speed and velocity. So by definition, napakadaling tandaan. Sabi nga natin kanina, speed is how fast an object is moving. Velocity naman is how fast an object is moving and in what direction. So napakadaling maintindihan. But pagdating kasi sa problem solving, medyo complex ng bahagya. Kaya mas maganda yung mabigyan ko kayo ng isang problem, isang example problem na napakadali nating mabivisualize at mauunawaan kung ano talaga ang pagkakaiba ng speed, velocity, distance traveled, and displacement. Okay? So, let us try to analyze this problem. So, you are driving a car from point A to point B. Ang distance ay 100 kilometers and it took you 1 hour to travel that distance. Then, from point B, nag-change ka ng direction towards north. Papunta dun sa point C and it took you 0.5 hour or 30 minutes to travel that B to C distance equivalent to 50 kilometers. Okay? Now, ang requirement sa problem is we are asked to solve for S. Ibig sabihin nito is distance traveled. We are asked to determine the speed. We are asked to determine the displacement. And we are asked also to solve for the velocity. Okay? So, let us start. So, doon muna tayo sa letter A. Distance traveled. So, the distance traveled here is just equal to S1 plus S2. And this is 100 plus 50, and that is 150 kilometers. Period. So, that is the distance traveled. Now, ang susunod na hinihingi sa atin ay velocity. Speed. B is equals to S over time. So, meron na tayong value ng S. That is 150 kilometers. Okay? At ang time naman is simply 1 plus 0.5, and this is equivalent to 1.5 hours. At ang ating S naman is equals to 150 kilometers. So therefore, this is 150 kilometers over 1.5 hours, and that is equals to how much? So that is equals to 100 kilometers per hour. Okay? So, let us continue. So, ang letter C natin is, we are asked to solve for the displacement. Okay? Now, from the root word of displacement, ibig sabihin, displace. So, ang ibig sabihin is, pag sinabi ang isang object ay na-displace, we are talking of the 2 points, the origin or the initial at saka yung kanyang final destination. Okay? So, for example, here, andito ako, this is my initial destination, the initial point. Ako ay nag-move dito ng paganon. So, ako ay na-displace. At ang tinutukoy lang natin dito ay 2 points. Yung pinanggalingan at saka yung pinuntahan. So, ganon. Ganon kasimple ang interpretation para madali nating maintindihan kung ano ang meaning ng displacement pagdating dito sa physics. So, if that is so, therefore, ang ating displacement is the distance from our point of origin to the final point, which is the destination. Okay? So, therefore, the simplest description and definition of displacement in physics is that is the straight line distance between the point of origin to the final destination. And therefore, this is our displacement. Okay? Now, how to solve that? So, in my previous vlog on trigonometric function and Pythagorean theorem, pwede nyo rin siyang balikan, nahando sa mga previous vlog natin yan, yung discussion. Kasi, pagka tayo ay nag-solve ng problem in physics, napakaraming mga problems dito, particularly yung mga problems na may kinalaman sa pag ginawa natin ng diagram ay makapoform tayo ng right triangle, like this one, then kailangan nating balikan or kailangan na intindihan natin yung the 6 trigonometric functions or SOHCAHTOA at saka yung formula ng Pythagorean theorem. So, in order to solve for the displacement, then gagamitin natin yung formula ng Pythagorean theorem. At ang Pythagorean theorem, ang formula niya is, if you still remember, Ang formula niya will be sa right triangle, if this is our hypotenuse, this is our opposite, and this is the adjacent, ang formula niya is to solve for the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse squared is equals to a squared plus o squared. And therefore, our h, in this particular problem, itong h natin, ito yung ating displacement, is equal to the square root of a squared plus o squared. Okay? So, ito yung ating A equals 100. And then, yung ating O or opposite sides is equals to 50. So, by formula, let us substitute. This is equal to the square root of our A, that is 100 square, plus yung ating opposite side is 50. So, our S is equal to let's try to use a calculator. So, therefore, our displacement is equals to 111.8 kilometers. Then, ang ating direction is let us try to solve the value of theta. And theta is equal to tangent second function of 50 over 100, and this is equals to, so our tangent, second function tangent of 50 over 100 is equals to 26.57 degrees north of east. Okay? So, based on our computation, our displacement is 111.8 kilometers, 26.57 degrees north of east. So, ito siya. Okay? So, our our velocity now is velocity is equals to the displacement over time, and this is equivalent to 111.80 kilometers over 26.57 degrees north of east over total time is 1.5 hours, and therefore this is equivalent to, so this is 74.53 kilometers per hour at 26.57 degrees north of east. Okay? So medyo masikip yung ating space. Kung susundan nyo naman ay madali namang sundan, ano? Okay, so ang ating displacement is equal to the square root of 100 square plus 50 square. So ito ay 10,000, this one is 2,500. So ang square root of 10,000 plus 2,500 is 111.8 kilometers. And the direction, yung theta, kinuha natin using the second function of tangent, 50 over 100, and that is equivalent to 26.57 degrees. So since ito, kung i-imagine natin na ito yung ating Cartesian plane, siya ay nasa first quadrant. Kaya siya ay 26.57 north of east. That is why if we are going to specify our displacement is equals to 111.8 kilometers at a direction of 26.57 degrees north of east. And so, our computation for our velocity is displacement over time. So 111.8 divided by 1.5 hours. So that is equivalent to 74.53 kilometers per hour, 26.57 degrees north of east. Okay, so thank you for watching. And again, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Circus Knowledge Channel. And to subscribe, just press the icon at the lower right corner, picture icon at the lower right corner of your screen, or type Circus Knowledge Channel on YouTube search bar.